You have heard the horror stories, divorce costing tens of thousands of dollars, dragging on for years, and draining every account that you've got. But what does it really cost to get a divorce in 2025? I'm Jeff Hughes, family law attorney, and in this video, I'll break down exactly what you'll spend. Best case, worst case, and everything in between so you can plan ahead, stay in control, and avoid surprises. Let's start with the minimum cost and then look at what can cause it to skyrocket. Step 1, the bare minimum costs to file. Even if you represent yourself, there are still basic fees that you cannot avoid. Here is what you'll pay to get your case started. The divorce filing fee is $184.50. Requesting support, whether that be child or spousal, will cost you an additional $10. And the electronic filing fee is $20. So the total minimum just to file is between $195 and $215. You will also likely have to pay for a service of process. That is between $20 and $50, and certified copies of the final judgment, which are around $25. If filing fees are a concern, you can also apply for a fee waiver through a petition for waiver of fees and costs. That is also called an affidavit of indigency, and the judge is the one who decides if you can qualify. Step number 2, real world averages. Now let's talk about what most people actually spend, keeping in mind that every single case is different. These are current averages based on 2025 data, but your actual cost will depend on your unique situation. Now let's start with an uncontested divorce. This is where both spouses agree on everything: property, custody, support, and there is no fighting whatsoever. Typically, the total is between $2,500 and $5,000. And if you are extremely organized and use limited legal help, you can do it for under $3,000. This is usually the most affordable path and the fastest. Contested divorce. Now, this is where the bills really can start racking up. Now, without children, that is around $11,000 on average. And with children, that is around $17,000, ballooning to $30,000 if there is a significant custody battle. High income cases, or when there is a significant business involved, that is between $50,000 and $100,000. Now, again, these are averages. Your case could be less or significantly more. It all depends on complexity and cooperation. We once had a case involving 2 small businesses and a custody battle on top of that. And the legal costs for both sides topped over $80,000 in just 18 months. It did not need to go that way, but neither side was willing to compromise on just about anything. Step number 3, attorney's fees. If you hire an attorney, which most people do, here is what you are looking at. In Wisconsin, the average is around $231 and $251. Retainers are around $5,000 for most cases. Complex or high conflict cases, the retainers start at between $10,000 and $25,000 right up front. Attorney mediators often charge between $250 and $500 if you are going the mediation route. These rates can vary by region, experience level, and case complexity, so treat these as ballpark figures, not fixed prices. Meanwhile, some firms, including ours at Sterling Lawyers, use fixed fee pricing instead of hourly billing. Now that means that you know your total costs up front with no surprise bills or retainers. Fees typically range between $4,000 for uncontested cases up to custom pricing for highly contested matters. Here's a big tip. The more organized and reasonable you are means the fewer hours that your attorney and legal team will spend on your case, and that saves you money. Step number 4, alternative options that can save you thousands. If you and your spouse are willing to negotiate, mediation is a powerful tool. Basic mediation packages range between $3,000 to $5,000. Complex cases will be up to $6,500. And mediation is often faster, cheaper, and far less emotionally draining than litigation. Another option is self-representation. Do it yourself, or what's called pro se. You can represent yourself, but do it carefully. Typical costs are between $5,000 and $2,000. And if you do it right, you can do it well under $1,000. You will still pay the filing fee and service fees and possibly for some legal guidance, but you will avoid most attorney's fees. But be warned, however, mistakes done during a do-it-yourself divorce can cost more later to fix than if they would have been done correctly on the front end. So please have your documents reviewed before signing. Step number 5, what makes divorce so expensive? There are some common cost drivers. Disputes over child custody or placement, division of businesses, retirement accounts, or complex property, spousal maintenance, also known as alimony. Those disputes can drive up costs. Uncooperative behavior or dragging out negotiations unnecessarily. Needing expert witnesses like custody evaluators or forensic accountants or appraisals. The more that you fight, the more it costs. Every court hearing, motion, or discovery demand adds thousands to the bill. And that brings us to step number 6. Timeline affects costs as well. Wisconsin has a 120-day waiting period after the spouse is served. And contested divorces, those can go 1 to 2 years to even longer. And here's the kicker. As you can imagine, the longer that it takes, the more that it costs you, not only in money, but in emotional cost as well. Every month simply adds more billable hours, more hearings, and more stress. So step 7, how do you keep your costs down? 1, be prepared and organized at all times. And that looks like bringing full financial docs to your attorney, keeping communication efficient. Number 2, try mediation before litigation in court. Even if it doesn't solve everything, it can narrow the issues. 3, agree where you can. Even partial agreements can save money. And 4, avoid unnecessary court battles. Judges do not award drama. And 5, understand and be clear about your goals. Focus on what matters long term, not emotional payback. The truth is, as you know, divorce doesn't just cost money. It costs time, energy, and peace of mind. But if you stay strategic and avoid the traps that we've walked through today, you can protect what matters the most without draining everything that you have worked for. And if you're thinking about divorce, you need to watch this next video before you file a single form or tell your spouse that is over. There are 6 critical steps that could save you custody, support, and thousands of dollars. Click the next video and I will walk you through step by step.